John Edwards for Griffins TV alongside head football coach Paul Day. And Coach, it's been a couple weeks since we talked after the CBC game. Teams had a little bit of time to digest. Give me your thoughts on the game itself against CBC and a lot of positive I'm sure you took out of it.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. I thought we showed everything I would hope we would. We were physical, certainly. It was a very physical game both ways. I thought we did some great things on both sides of the ball. There are certainly some things we need to get better at, but when you play a really good team, and that was what it was Friday night, it was some really good teams playing. They made some plays and we made some plays. So they've got some great players. Our coaching staff does a great job, but I was really pleased we got what we needed out of that.
What did your team take away in talking with them over the last couple of weeks? And yeah, you don't want to lose a game against the MCC rival, but like you said, there's a lot of positive. What was the team's take on it? What was their feedback to you?
Well, I think the feedback is, when you lose a close game, there's, a lot of different ways that you could have changed the outcome, and both teams go seeing the things they can get better at. But I think for our guys, it was, a lot of the mistakes that we made were self-inflicted. They're not lining up correctly, that happens at every level of football. But just a small difference in technique and what that can mean on a play, so the good thing for us now is we've completely gotten away from effort mistakes. We almost never have an effort mistake anymore. So for us, it's just cleaning up technique and making sure we're thinking the game.
Players have had some time off over the last week or so, coming into the matchup tomorrow night against Rockwood Summit, and talk about what's gone on over the last couple of weeks with the team and what is it you guys have worked on over the last week or so that get you ready for tomorrow.
The funny thing is, if anything, we've pared down. I know a lot of people are adding all the way through the year. We've actually taken what we've doing and we've limited it a little bit. We want to be really good at what we're doing and what we are, and I think we've done a pretty good job of it the last 2 weeks. Our guys are ready to hit somebody else again. I mean, when you spend 2 weeks and our kids get after it pretty good in practice, so we're ready for the next competition we'll face, which is tomorrow night, and we're looking forward to that.
Was the time off beneficial, or does it hinder this team?
I think it helps. It allows you a little bit of time for everybody to breathe. It's a grind through the season, and when you've gone 10 weeks in a row of weights on Monday and Thursday and practice and film and then film again and 2 more heavy practices, and then you get into that grind. It's really good to be able to have a Monday where you just take off, and the kids got to go home and be kids and for a day, and it allowed us an extra prep day. It allowed us to sort of lay out what we want our playoffs to look like, and in terms of practice and game prep, and so it was good for everybody, and it certainly, I think, will help us.
Rockwood Summit tomorrow night, a team that 4-6 on the season, but they're a balanced team. They run the ball pretty well, they pass pretty well. What are you expecting from them tomorrow night?
They're, the thing about them, they've got a very good running back. They've got a couple receivers that can make plays. That's for sure. Play very hard on defense, which when you start watching the film and then you watch more and more, their kids play really hard, which is a compliment to their coaching staff. So, for us, we've got to execute. We've got some pretty good players as well. So our guys, when the opportunity's there to make a play, we need to make it. We need to be relentless on defense and get to the football, and then offensively be physical, protect the football, tackle in space. I know it's all the same things I say every week, but it truly is. Those are the things that are going to allow us to get where we want to be.
Defensively, they do have a pretty strong linebacking core. What do you do offensively to take advantage of their good linebackers?
Honestly, I think our system and takes care of a lot of that in terms of, you know, every football game, no matter how you slice it, it boils down to guys getting other guys' blocks. So, you know, I think we've got things that we do where, you know, if kids are aggressive inside that we feel like we can take advantage of. If they're, you know, guys that can run well then there are things that you can do there. But, you know, great players make plays. So it's our responsibility and our combos up front that we, you know, get people overtaken and get off of it. And there's, you know, big responsibility for our skill kids to block well and, you know, hopefully limit the amount of big plays those guys can make.
Your offense this year has been able to rattle off a lot of big plays, and it seems like you guys have made tons of in-game adjustments during the course of the game. What attributes to that for your team to be as successful as they have been in creating some of those big plays?
Athletes make plays. You know, people can say all the time it's this or that, but the bottom line is, I think it's your job as coaches to do everything you can to get your athletes in space, either by leverage or numbers, and you know, everybody does that. Right now, we have a really good group of athletes. So, you know, our guys, you can scheme up, you know, the best way to unload option, but when Tion Harris is carrying the ball, that looks a whole lot better. So, you know, in Zach Zerwig, and you know, we got guys all over, Kyron and Percy and, you know, Devin Ward. I mean, they're just athletes everywhere. So, you know, for us, you know, we feel like our system is geared toward taking advantage of what's available a lot of times during the game. And the beautiful thing now is with technology. It used to be you had to wait until Saturday and you'd be like, oh man, we should have done that. Now it's instantaneous. You come over, it's on the TV. You watch literally the play that just happened 1 minute ago. You can see the difference between what you thought they were in and what they were in, and it allows for a lot of really good in-game adjustments, and it's been a huge deal for us.
Athletes you do have, and it seems like at the beginning of the year you knew you had Tion, who's come back and he's been here for you for a few years now. Kyron has been an athlete for you. But is there a little bit of surprise that you're getting from, say, Percy or from Devin this year? Was this something that over the last season or so has just kind of built up and they're kind of stepping in and maturing?
Yeah, I mean, the weight room fixes and accentuates a lot, and those guys are strong, athletic kids. We knew those kids would be guys. I mean, they're way too talented, and you could see that in the off-season conditioning stuff not to be successful in the fall. You know, we knew Fareed was a great athlete, and he just keeps making plays on both sides of the ball. You know, Zach Zerwig, I mean, obviously he was a great player last year as well, but you know, all those guys, I think what we do is important to them, and you know, the little stuff's important to them, and I think we're going to continue to get better. I know that I said it in one of these interviews a couple weeks ago, but right now our potential for growth is massive. Where you know, you watch film and I truly don't think we're close to where we can be, and the kids see it on film. You know, they see the things we have to get better at, and there are a lot of things. So for us, the focus is to just continue to get better.
Coach, I appreciate a few minutes as always. Best of luck against Rockwood.
Thank you.
Head coach Paul Day joins us here on Griffins TV. His team will be against Rockwood Summit later this evening. We'll check back again with him again next week.